Well, Matt, a 1-1 draw for your side here against AFC Wimbledon this afternoon. What was your take on that one?
2 points dropped. Didn't think either team did a great deal first half, and then second half I thought 20-25 minutes we were excellent. Should have been 3 or 4 up. Don't take your chances. I think they have one shot on target and scored a goal, which I'm disappointed in because we've got to deal with that better. But yeah, their overriding feeling, I'm sure, for myself and the supporters in the stadium is a negative one. But at the same time, look, it's a point. That's the bit we can take out of it. This run we've been on, obviously, been awful. So it's a point. We now have to try and be positive. We've got Northampton Tuesday. And I think you saw for 65 minutes what the team's capable of when we have a team on the pitch.
Fair to say for those 65, 70 minutes as well, there was a fair bit of belief inside the New York, particularly after you went 1-0 up.
Yeah, I just felt like, and I've said how important it is, and I understand it. Look, the frustration at the end, but I just that goal, second goal, we just needed that second goal, didn't we? And I think it just felt like it was going to be a 1 or 2-0. I don't mean too disrespectful, but I couldn't see them really scoring a goal. I don't think they really hurt us. And I thought there were a flurry of our attacks second half. So they're the bits that disappoint me. Look, I've said all along, we're trying to bring another striker in this window. We're trying to do a bit more business. And I think that was quite evident today, really.
Not much in that first half, but what was said at half time, because it felt like the game was there for the taking, didn't it?
It was, yeah. And look, lads have been on a bad run, so the confidence is a little bit low in there. I think a few things happened: ball running under people's feet, not having a touch when they should have had a touch, and then again for that period in second half, we get a goal, the confidence comes back. Happened at Stockport. It's really hard. It's okay, me telling players you can do X, Y, and Z, but they have to believe it and feel it. And I felt like they played a bit like that first half. I thought they played a bit like that for half an hour at Stockport. And then you saw the confidence come back, and look, like I say, it's been a tough run. The positive is, like I say, it's a point, but the negative are that should have been a win today, and then we should have been going into Tuesday with 3 points.
Do you have to choose your words wisely with the players when confidence is so low, particularly after a game where you've said for 65, 70 minutes you were the better team, you haven't got the result you wanted? But with a game coming up so quickly, you need them to be able to go again.
Look, the players just need to see the positives. I'm disappointed with the goal, and I've just explained that to them. We've shown them all that for the last however many weeks. I don't think we move up well enough when the ball goes back, and I don't think we pick anybody up in the box, and that's what frustrates me. The amount of headers their centre-backs won at middle of their 6-yard box and ours didn't, and that's the frustration for me. But look, the positives are we should have won that game and we haven't, and I get it. And I know I'm opening myself up for criticism with that statement probably, but that should have been 3 points. But that's the positive that we have to take into Tuesday and make sure that, like, for that 25-minute second period, we start the game like that. Because I didn't think a start. We had a few corners. Kieran Spence had the one cleared off the line. As I said, they've had one shot on target and scored a goal, and sometimes that happens in football, but we have to be more clinical at the other end.
That goal you did score, a real injection of quality from Marvin Coletta to get the ball across, and Zach Jules, Johnny on the spot to tap it in.
Yeah, well worked goal. And then I felt we kept working the opportunities, didn't we? Our Johnny Martha probably should have pulled the trigger. He chopped back, probably should have put that one in. And then they were throwing their bodies on the line and blocking everything. And look, sometimes I know Johnny well, he probably stood in their technical area thinking, right, if we can just keep it at 1 and have a right go last 20 minutes. And I don't think they really put us under much pressure, but they've scored the goal and they'll be happy with a point, but we're disappointed with our point.
Yeah, is that the biggest thing defensively? I think that was their only effort on target, and it's ended up in the back of your own net.
Look, these things culminate against you sometimes, don't they? I felt that we were ones in the driving seat. We were the ones trying to take the game forward, as we should do, by the way. We're their own team, so we have to be on the front foot. I felt we made a few changes at half time, which kind of worked. And then we made the changes and probably lost a bit of pace and power from the team, which obviously we've got in Coletta and Nombe. Harry Gray's been carrying a bit of illness all week, so he's given as much as he can, and then he's just felt like he was absolutely shot at the end. So he'll be better again for that Tuesday. But the main hope now is we've come out with no injuries and that we can go again Tuesday.
was going to say really strong performances, particularly from Keane Spence, Sam Nombe as well. Both came off. What's the story in them? Is the hope that it is just a bit of cramp?
Just cramping up. Look, and I've said all along, I'm having to manage people's minutes, and I think that were evident today. I'm starting them some games, and that's going to happen because they're probably 1 or 2 weeks off match fitness and sharpness. But I think you saw with Sam, he's an handful. I don't need to wax lyrical about Sam any more than I already have. He's a threat. He makes the team miles better. He had a good partner up there in Harry. I just felt that he were kind of getting latched onto their centre-backs a bit more and should have come off him a little bit and not had that battle, because he's not going to win that battle at 17, and they're the bits that he'll learn. So he kind of did that and got in them pockets, and I think you just saw him fatigue a little bit at the end and his decision-making. But yeah, look, we need to try and make the team better when we make changes and make sure that we try and do something in this last week to make sure that we can do that moving forward to the second half of the season.
Just finally, since we last spoke to you, brought in Emmanuel Adebayor. What will he bring to the setup there?
Pace, power again, good age, played some games in Dundee. Obviously, I hadn't played as many games this season, been at Norwich, so a lot of interest were in him. And he's chosen to come here, which I thank him for, but he'll be a big player for us moving forward and somebody we'll welcome into the team Tuesday.